Oh, hey, it's 9:30. Time for the Friday Night Hangout. This is where we grab a brew, shoot the breeze, and interact with you live on the internet. Good panel tonight, back from our March break. We're working the treadmill, getting into shape, doing the marathon hangouts. Pretty tough. We're ready this week here. So as we get all settled in, people connect, get through the pre-rolled ads, because I did something different on the YouTube stream tonight. So we'll do a quick round of intros and the usual stuff here. So just a reminder before we start, though, you can start the replay once we're done, 10-15 minutes afterwards, or you can scrub through like a PVR if you want to go back 30 seconds or a minute or so. And we also have the audio-only podcast version ready to rock, and that will come out over the weekend, which is doing pretty good. You can use your favorite podcast listening tool or application, iTunes, Downcast, and now we're on Stitcher, and thanks to all the new Stitcher listeners there. So really awesome to see a bunch of listeners
Hello,
there.
Stitcher friends.
Harry, you're doing a junk shot there, by the way. You gotta be careful with the webcam.
All right, so let's do a quick round of intros here. Let's start from Newfoundland. We got Mike with us tonight. How's it going, Mike?
Good, guys. Good to be here tonight.
Excellent. Get your maintenance call all settled in.
No.
Nope. All right.
Go again.
Yeah. Perfect. We'll get you on mute. Mike's dealing with some house stuff. In Halifax, we got Krista tonight. BitesizeTravel.ca. How's she going, Chris? Krista?
We were on a break!
I'd like to thank you for the Friends references there last week as we were taking the break. And the break was quite simple. The missus had to go on a business trip, and I was solo with the little one and the dog. And I said, dudes, I can't do Friday. And sure enough, the little one did not want to go to bed until 11 o'clock p.m. So
she wanted to party and join the Friday Night Hangout.
Definitely wanted to party. So, but we're back tonight. I just put her up, gave her a little bit of the Fortress rum from last time. Out like a light tonight. Out like a light.
Solid parenting. It's good to see everybody again.
Page 7.
All right, going up to Cape Breton. We got Carrie with us tonight. How's it going, Carrie?
All is good. We're doing good here.
Excellent. All right, and what was that, Carrie?
It's cold, but it's good.
Yeah, let's not talk about the weather anymore. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done. Dartmouth, we got Dan with us tonight. Good evening, Dan.
Good evening. I will do anything for love, but I won't do that.
And what is that? We'll find out during the Cards of Humanity bit.
Who didn't find out, Internet?
We got a few people joining us, watching, and thanks a lot for watching. Now, you can interact with us during the show. You can, if you're on Twitter, use the hashtag Friday Night Hangouts or send us a tweet. All of us should have most of our Twitter handles on our lower thirds here. You can comment via Google+, YouTube, and on avoidingchores.com on the show page, but we mostly do Twitter and the YouTube. So let's start off with our
on AOL. How do we get our America Online brethren?
Well, we got
First, you have to fill in an envelope and get the disc sent to you, and then it comes on a CD, and you put it in your computer and load it from there.
This is also good for our GeoCities followers.
Yeah, that's right.
And anyone that's still using, what's that other one?
CompuServe.
Yes, CompuServe. Thank you. You read my mind.
Just dating yourselves.
Wow.
Very well.
Beautiful.
You're older than me.
I know.
Yes. Hang on. We'll talk about that later. Hey, let's do a quick round of what we're drinking tonight. We'll start with Dan. What are you drinking tonight, sir?
Well, actually, today is going to be another Choose Your Own Adventure. So, we've got our usual standby, the Fog Burner, 11.5%. But in this corner, also coming in from Garrison Brewing, we have This Is Radio Wheat Ale, straight from the 80s. Wow!
Oh, I saw that tonight. Open that up. I want to hear what it's like.
Yeah. Do the CKDU one first.
Okay, well,
yeah, well, keep the good stuff for last.
Yeah.
The Fog Burner.
I'm sure you'll get to it.
Oh yeah. Well, it's pretty low alcohol, right? It's what,
Yeah.
4 something or 5?
Yeah, 4.6. I do like wheat beers or wheat ales, so I'll be interested to see how they do this one. I like to see why there's such an 80s feel to it, aside from the fact that it was the 80s. But yeah, we'll give it a shot.
It's easy. It's university radio. It's all like the hipsters and the hipster adjacent.
Yeah, it's the campus. It's the campus and community radio station. The old rival when I was at another station in New Brunswick here. So we didn't like CKDU folks at all because they're all like hipster and crazy ideas and stuff.
It's fairly light. I'll give it that. It's really light.
Okay. Any raspberry?
I'm not picking up on it.
All right, we'll check back on you in a bit there. Yep. Carrie, what are you drinking tonight, sir?
I got some Hell Bay.
Oh.
Hey!
The only reason why I'm drinking this one right now is because all the other 4 beer that I had in the back of my truck were rolling all over the back floor.
Oh.
So I'm not opening up any of them yet.
Yeah, let's give them a chance to settle down there first. All right, let's go down. Krista, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm starting with some Boxing Rock Crafty Jack from our friends down in Shelburne.
Oh.
Yum.
Good one here.
Yeah,
and from Dartmouth, we got Lori. What are you drinking tonight, Lori?
I am drinking Allagash Triple.
Oh,
she's a fancy lady.
Nice. And now, was this something that you saved or you got recently?
I did. I've nursed my stash from the summer along, and this is a couple of the Allagash ones I also have a Allagash Black and a couple of other ones.
Yes, yes.
So.
And how is it?
It's lovely. It's at 9%.
Ooh, you'll be joining
yeah,
again.
You're right. It's going to be a big drunk tonight.
Yep.
And I actually really like most everything that Allagash does. So this one is a golden hued ale with notes of fruit and honey, Belgian style. And I must say I enjoy everything. So from Allagash.
I love the Allagash. Love it.
Yep.
And Mike's still unavailable, just paying the maintenance man here. But I am drinking tonight another one of the new Garrison releases here, the Professor McDougall's Wise Guy Hefeweizen.
Is that the guy who won the
homebrew competition?
The homebrew competition?
Correct. Won the homebrew competition last spring.
That sounds like some sort of cure elixir from like the 1900s.
Yeah,
it is. Put hair on your chest and muscle in your arms.
So it looks like
America.
Your grumatiz, you'll put a hitch back and you'll giddy up.
Monorail.
The future. So it looks like this. So if you want a quick comparison after what it is, a Blanche de Chambly or kind of a white beer, but has a little bit more flavor to it. But the Hefeweizen is a different style. Now I don't know, I haven't really got into the difference between this and what they did last year, the St. Peter's. I know they did a kind of a strong Belgian here, but as to the Hefeweizen here, some people might find a little similarities, maybe not quite as sweet, but definitely has...
Well, I had that one picked up today because I wasn't sure. I thought I might get it for tonight, and I'm like, I don't know. I'm not usually too on board with like Hefeweizens, and so if it's closer to a Blanche de Chambly, maybe I'll give it a spin.
Yeah, like there's definitely. Like I'm just thinking that for people who just wanted like a quick comparison there, but at the first few sips, it reminded me of a Blanche like right away. But as it warms up, as it kind of settles in here. The taste profile kind of changed a little bit here. So then again, I've been pumping Fisherman's Friends, dealing with my cold and sinus issues here. So who knows what this really tastes like? Palate may be a little bit off. Eucalyptus.
Are you sucking on a Fisherman's Friend right now?
Take a look at my tongue to make sure what the color it is. So if it's Fisherman's Friends color, I've been
Yeah.
Working on that. All right. Listen, we got a whole bunch of people. Thanks again, people. If you're watching, you want to comment, Twitter, YouTube, Google+, woodenshores.com. The troops will be monitoring their stations, and we'll get to that in a bit here. Let's start off with the first topic here, which is always some Halifax, Nova Scotia news, and then we'll get into some more crazy stuff here. First one here, a local story here. I don't know what it is with the Liberals. They seem to... there's some people that they're going rogue. So apparently this story started out as rumor, debuted in Frank Magazine, and then went to, I think, CBC Radio the next day, and I think Chronicle Herald did another story on it. So it had a little bit of coverage here. So apparently last fall, after the fall sitting, after everybody was all done doing their harumph in the legislature, they went down to the old Triangle, having brews and all that stuff. So one of the MLAs, Tony Ice, was saying something negatory towards his critic, on her portfolio critic, Carla McFarlane, the only female PC MLA, and that got overheard, and that just started the whole kerfuffle here. And I'm reading the article here quickly here, and I see Tony saying, I'll investigate what apparently I said, and kind of leaves stuff kind of open. Oh, and she also did a spot on News 95.7 too, so. Oh, have you guys, did you guys see the story this week, or, like, it's kind of odd?
I didn't see this one, but the event that it's attached to is something that is generally called the session ender, and it happens after like Jim said, like after the House of Assembly session rises for the season, whether it's a spring sitting or the fall sitting, and it's usually incredibly social. And I wasn't at this one. I don't actually know either of the people involved. I have no idea what was said to whom or who overheard what. But this, oh God, like, who knows? This sounds like a mess.
And just the way that it was being handled, it sounds like it's going to be a mess between that and Younger and all that. This is something that could have just been, it's a yay or nay, like, no, it didn't happen, all that. But now, Carla here saying...
But didn't I read there was some conflicting information coming out of the PC member's office as well, where her assistant had been contacted to inform her that this actually transpired, and then when she was queried about it later, she said, I never had a conversation about that. And so there's a bit of confusion there too.
Yeah, and I guess the thing is that it's something that spent a few days in the news cycle at different stations and papers and stuff, and it's something that could have just simply been cut and dry. You guys are talking, Frank, you're talking nonsense, or whatever it is. Like, this didn't happen. Tony calls up Carla and says, you know what, nothing happened and stuff like that and all that. But now it kind of dragged on for a few days, and now nobody knows what the hell's going on, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just a mess now, and there are some other important political stories that are happening, but the cycle isn't really full of other news like you would get during a budget session or when the House is sitting. So, when you have a vacuum, sometimes things fill the vacuum.
Yeah, true. Dan, Carey, Mike, have you heard this story at all, or?
To be honest, myself, not really. This is not getting much play around for where I sit. So, I guess the thing is, considering all the issues that have been going on with the MPs and in the area, and that I should say MPs, the provincial level, how much of this is actually sticking to McNeil, if any? Or whether there is actually an issue or not. I mean, it seems like nothing really is sticking to his office.
Well,
I
no.
think so. There were numbers that came out this week. The quarterly opinion polling numbers came out this week, and He's pretty steady.
Yeah. So I mean, it seems to be pretty Teflon for him. So.
Oh yeah, doing all right. He's doing okay.
Well, these are the kinds of stories, though, that, I mean, if you in Nova Scotia politics, like, people, the media follows it, and the political operative class, they follow it, but the general public, Nova Scotians generally don't like their politics like this. Like, it's a little distasteful for them, so...
Well, I mean, it's not appreciated no matter where you go. I mean, there's issues like this, like well known in Ontario and British Columbia, and so it's not just a Nova Scotia problem. So, but I mean, usually when something like this happens, it really hits the leader of that province pretty hard, and it just doesn't seem to be doing anything over here.
No, not at all. Mike, over in Newfoundland, has there been anything kind of similar like this that's been happening recently in your neck of the woods, or you guys are all business, oil, money, revenue?
I just missed your topic. I just got back.
No problem. Well, we'll just skip to the next one. I mean, we kind of run this one to the ground here. Let's move on to the next Nova Scotia story, in that case. And then we'll do a quick check on Twitter and YouTube and all that stuff here, so everybody will get at their stations and refresh the page. The government, though, they did announce $22 million for RBC Bank, to set up a check processing or financial services branch here in Halifax, in a few of the floors of the old Research in Motion campus that they built a few years ago that they kind of vacated. There's only just a few people in there now. The building, which was originally built to handle 1,200 BlackBerry workers, was pretty much empty, and now it's made up by IBM, Bell, a little bit of RIM, I think 3 guys. I think that's all that's left. RBC is going to sit up there, and apparently the building's full. So, $22 million.
Good for that guy that bought the building, I guess.
Yeah, doing pretty good.
So it says here that it's supposed to be creating 150 jobs. Does it say anything about the fact that these jobs must be locally sourced, or does this mean that they just have to promote 150 jobs? Doesn't matter if they're just importing employees from other parts of the country.
Because IBM went through this little problem there. They were trying to outsource some of the jobs they got from the government when they outsourced SAP services, financial services last year. They kind of got caught.
Lori, yay! $22 million for other provinces. Yay, yay, yay!
But Lori has something to say.
Lori has lots to say. So, I really struggle, and I tweeted out earlier today, and I will admit, first and foremost, I am very naive to many areas of provincial and federal government and municipal government too. But when I look at the fact that RBC, I think last quarter, and I may have the number wrong, had somewheres in about $160 million in net income over the quarter before. So they are, and we all know that banks are making money hand over fist. My question then becomes, why do they need this $22 million incentive to employ people when, if Bedford is the best place, if RIM is the best building to put in place this call center, why do they need this type of incentive? Now, the cynical part of me says it's $22 million that they'll add to their coffers, but is that sustainable? We've seen this over and over and over again. Where RIM, for Christ's sake,
Yep.
where the province, other governments within the province have offered these types of financial incentives, and what ends up happening is they employ people for a period of time, and then, pardon me, once the time runs out and they cannot be, I would say, artificially propped up or the operations can't be artificially propped up by government money anymore, all of a sudden the arse goes out of her and they all go away, right? And we've seen it with RIM, and we've seen it with a number of other call centers, both in Halifax and throughout the province. And it's, yes, you're basically buying employment for people for a finite period of time, but this doesn't lead to long-term employment. These people aren't, having their careers with one of these organizations. It's a stopgap, and it's a very, very expensive stopgap. And they can take that $22 million and invest in other ventures that I think would provide a better investment in the province. That is my pre-10 p.m.
Rant. The blue version will be after 10
That
here.
window is closing a little bit, too.
I know. Yeah, I'm watching the clock. Don't you frickin' worry.
Oh, friggin'. Ooh.
Save it.
Judges?
Save it for one of the later topics.
Oh, I know which one she's saving herself for. Because.
All right, so let's go quickly to the comments here, and as we'll get everybody refreshing their pages, their usual positions. But to add what Lori was saying, it's true. We've seen it even in the financial services. We've seen, I think, Anchor, I think was one of them. They got a big fanfare. I don't know if they're still operating in the province or not. There was another one. I forget the name of it. They got a bunch of money. They set up a data center in Scotia Square. They pulled out a couple of years ago. I think NTNL, I think that was another one, or they moved. I don't know. Like there's, whatever, right? So let's do a quick check of comments now. Krista on Twitter, what do we got?
Well, our friend Trudy is with us tonight in Vancouver, so hello, Trudy. Hey, Trudy.
Right.
As usual, we miss you. We miss
Sure.
you, but we're
Hi,
glad you're with
Trudy.
And Trudy is drinking a Red Hook ESB from Seattle on tap, and it's almost as good as Picaroons, but only almost.
It's pretty good. The Red Hook is pretty good. I like the Red Hook. It's good stuff.
And I think that's it. The rest is just
All right,
us
that's
talking.
it. All right, let's move on to the YouTube, and Dan has the YouTube.
Yeah, I got the YouTube. So we got a couple from, one from Jason Spears saying, "Hi everyone, having a propeller porter tonight."
Oh,
Awesome,
right.
Jason.
We got Brew Jitsu.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's got, hey, rubber toe here, Dartmouth for the win.
All right, so Roberto, I know this guy. He's in the Coast Beer Guide this week. Krista, do you have the issue there?
Yep, I do.
Open it up. It's Rob. Open up the page. Rob has his own brewery in his basement article.
Oh, gosh.
It's not Brew Newsers too, I think.
Bear with me,
yeah,
Rob.
yeah, he's under Roberto and Brew Nosers.
Yeah.
So go to Rob. Known Rob for
There he is.
since the 90s. I taught him how to program Java.
Wow.
That's a dirty language,
That is a
too.
very specific computer reference.
And now he brews and wins medals at beer. And look at me. I have a kettle on top of a shelf, and I got a hole in my ceiling.
I
There
feel
you
like
go.
you're trying to
One.
take credit for this somehow, Jim.
Yeah.
Jim.
Are you trying to get some type of cut? Is this what we're talking?
It's not about you.
Have you
Jim.
seen his setup? He has like a 12-tap freezer.
Yeah, there's a
thing.
picture of it in the coast. If you are in the greater Halifax area, be sure to pick up this week's Coast. It is their beer guide. It's all kinds of lovely articles about our rapidly emerging craft beer scene and people who drink beer and where you go to drink beer and all those.
Does the
wonderful
Coast have a internet presence? As in, like, would they be able to read it in the digital format?
Yeah, they have a
Yes.
Yeah,
they
they
do.
do. The coast,
Lower right corner, I think.
thecoast.ca.
Yep.
You're visiting us from the internet and
Interwebs.
cannot obtain a print copy, though if you want to stop by my house, I can give you mine. Print copy.
Okay, and your address is...
My
Yes.
address is 55 Yemen Road, Yemen.
That sounds made up.
And-
And we got one more on there. We
Yeah.
got from GC Storm 1. Yippee! The hangout is back. So I'm enjoying a Yippee IPA from Picaroon.
Hey!
Excellent, Roger.
Nice touch.
Good stuff. So, hey, we got a very good contingent of people coast to coast, Newfoundland to Vancouver, Cape Breton to the Valley to Halifax, and all points in between. Good stuff. Dartmouth too.
My God, we do.
A lot
if
of
we had
Dartmouth
to
tonight.
Dartmouth, we would cover Nova Scotia end to end, and we technically cover Canada end to end. So
Yes.
take that. Other Friday night online activities,
Too.
you burnt.
Good.
This is the best one.
Good.
You done goofed.
All right, and on the Friday night hangout, since Mike is here with us tonight, I'm pretty sure there's no comments on the website, but I will just check anyway. No, there is none. So there you go. Good thing Lee's not in tonight, because he would be sorely disappointed that he wouldn't have anything to read tonight. So let's move on to the next topic. The last serious local story, and then we'll get into the more fun stuff. We'll have Cards Against Humanity here in a bit, and of course the Wayback Machine, and crazy products from the internet, and a whole bunch of other stuff here. So, last serious story or local story, which is a 6-year remembrance of the Cougar 491 crash. And Mike, you want to tell us a little bit more about that story?
Yeah, 6 years ago, last night, or yesterday morning, Cougar 491, bringing people out to the Sea Rose platform in Hibernia, ditched, no survivors but one. Pretty sad. I knew 11 of them, 4 of them really well. Yeah. And every year they have a memorial service in town. They have it different church every year, and they still have services offshore on the platforms.
So was it a weather-related crash, or just an equipment crash? Or
It was an equipment. The studs holding the oil lubrication system were titanium, and they galled, and they lost all their oil, and within 11 minutes they had to ditch.
Jesus.
Wow.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Mike, didn't they have some overhaul too of search and rescue because of that crash? Because there was some controversy over how search and rescue was deployed and their methods and things of that nature. Do I remember that correctly?
Right now, I think it's 403 Squadron's based out of Gander, and the next closest is Trenton, I believe.
That's right.
That day, the search and rescue chopper from Newfoundland was in Nova Scotia doing exercises.
Yeah.
It wouldn't have mattered had they been there anyway, because it was they had 11 minutes from the time they had a problem till the time it was all over.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's horrifying.
Cougar launched their own rescue chopper, and it got there, I think, within an hour.
Yeah.
Since then, they had Cougar has their own rescue chopper. They can be wheels up in 15 to 20 minutes if needed. It's fully equipped with night flying winches, all the medical gear, and it's dedicated just for search and rescue. So things have changed. We got a lot better suits, more equipment. It's just a sad way that stuff improves.
Absolutely.
And there's still some recommendations from the inquiries that haven't been fulfilled. The companies want to go back to night flights, which are a lot more dangerous.
Yeah, particularly for search and rescue.
Starting April 1st, we've got new flight suits again, which are a bigger improvement over the last ones. With the older suits, people weren't fitted properly. The survivor, Robert Decker, he had a lot of water in his suit. He was hurt pretty bad, but he was hypothermic as well from all the water. So after that, the suits were fit better for people. And anyway, there's a lot of good did come out of it eventually, but it's a hard way to do it.
It's a hard path to get to the good one.
Well, and it's such a all of those guys would, not only, did you know them, but they were also those are small communities there, and something like that really does cut right through every corner of the city, and
Yeah.
So I just want to show people what we're talking about, the Hibernia oil rig or oil field off the coast of Newfoundland. So as I zoom out of Google Earth, we can see where it is out into sea. So you can see it's quite a ways offshore.
Yeah.
Hibernia is 315 kilometers. Sea Rose was about 320, 325, something like that. Takes about an hour and a half to get out there.
Yeah, so it's...
or
it's
12 hours by boat.
Yeah. Oh my God. Oh, forget that.
Wow. Oh, crazy stuff. All right.
Anyways, time for
Well, I'm
fun
glad
stuff.
there have been some positive. At least there have been some positive
Yes.
improvements that have come out of it. Because I mean, this is a terrible thing that happens, and the work is dangerous, and you know, anything. You hate to hear something like this happen, but at least there's been learning.
And the fact of the matter is, it happens all over the world. Like, there are oil rigs in the oceans and the seas all over the world. And, you know, unfortunately, people paid a very, very dear price. But hopefully, in the end, there's been improvements, not just with Hibernia, but with all kinds of platforms all over the world. And that people are ultimately safer. And I think, you know, that's one of the takeaways, hopefully, that you can take from this.
You kind of hope so, but you got to take a look at the collateral. I can't speak now. What happens with coal mines in third world nations and other places like that, where they still have tremendous issues. So perhaps for our what we consider to be westernized and first world countries, you're seeing those benefits, but I don't think it's really trickled down to areas that really need it as well.
Absolutely, I completely agree. And I mean, I think in the developed world, in the Western world, there have been such, you know, every incident there are other advances in worker safety as a result. But when you look at what's happening in Qatar, for example, with the World Cup stadiums that they're building, they have a decent number of people that are basically in indentured servitude working there, and I think about approximately a person a day is dying.
Basically, for a soccer game.
No, don't go there.
sorry, footy. There.
A little bit more to that. Hey, let's flip over to some of the lighter stuff, and we'll do a check of comments a little bit later.
By the way,
Yes.
Lori, it's 10:04. Release the Kraken!
Fuck yeah.
Girl, oh girl.
All right, so let's do a quick round of what we're drinking tonight. We can also do a quick check on comments here, and then move on to the more fun or lighter stories there. Pretty heavy local stories this week, but let's move over to Dartmouth. Dan, what are you drinking tonight?
Well, I'm going to report back on This is Radio Wheat Ale, 88.1 FM, CKDU, The Rock. It's a wheat beer. It's pretty innocuous. To be honest, I would probably be enjoying it a lot more if it was summertime.
I had the same reaction, Damn, when I tried it last week.
It's a nice beer.
But it's for sitting on the deck, and it's got to be bitter cold for me.
So it's like the liberal arts degree of beer.
Yeah.
Wow! If you had a Sunday morning talk show, right? So I think we know what needs to be done at this point. That's coming up shortly. Just in time for the next conversation.
All right, excellent. All right, Carrie, what are you drinking tonight? Carrie's been quiet tonight, so what are you drinking? What do you got in that glass?
In the glass is
Rare Bird Pale Ale.
Rare Bird Pale Ale. I'm
All
still
right.
trying to get it quiet down because it's still all shook up.
Oh yeah, that's right. It rolled a bit. Yes, it's still rolled in your truck. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, Krista, what are you drinking tonight?
It's the end of my Crafty Jack, and then after that I will crack open the Hell Bay Dark Cream Ale.
Mmm,
There you
yummy.
go.
That's a good
I
one.
like that. That's good winter beer.
All right.
Jim,
Yes. Yes.
your Weizen beer is in the wrong glass.
What?
Your Weizen beer's in the wrong glass.
What glass should it be, son?
You've been schooled.
Go.
Well, what should it be? In a tall, skinny one, or what?
Better watch your step, because I think...
I didn't look at the article at the coast there to find out which glass.
They're very specific.
I've drank in quite a few in Germany, so I know what they should be in.
What is it? Is it a tall, skinny one?
Tall skin.
Yeah, a tall, skinny one. All right.
I just made that totally obscene.
No, it's tall, skinny one because a good chunk of them are like this glass would be fine, but whatever. Look, Carrie will rumble on this another time.
Oh, that's why Keith isn't here, is because he can't comment on the glasses right now, because I'm interested to know how those etched glasses are coming along.
Yeah, Keith actually sent us a message from beyond the internet. He said, enjoy the hangout. This disagreeable laptop is just about ready for the boneyard.
Yeah.
He could have got on with his phone.
All right, Lori, what are you drinking tonight?
I am still working on my Allagash Triple Ale. And I know, I'm trying.
Your topic, the one thing we talk about every single day is coming up next.
Oh, okay, awesome. And, okay, I better slam her down. And I don't know what I'm going to drink after that. The next intermission, I will go find something else.
All right, excellent. And, Mike, what are you drinking tonight?
I've got the Garrison India Pale Ale.
Oh, yeah, all the way up in Newfoundland. You can get that IPA.
We had a special order with the Beer Club.
Oh, nice.
And how do you find it?
Excellent. I've got to get another one, because this one's empty.
Oh.
It's a good beer.
And, bit of good news. My 2 kegs are in the beer fridge and they're full. I have, as usual, a pumpkin ale and a Pilsner dry hop with Citra, and it's really nice.
Oh, that should be really nice. Yeah. Excellent. Good stuff.
But I'm going to get another India Pale right now.
All right, good enough. I'll just tell you guys, I got the Professor McDougal's Weizen from Garrison.
Hefeweizen.
5.4. I guess he's a nice guy. I've seen him around a few times at a few events.
Nice guy.
And
What's your whistle?
from the future, well, from the past, 2014, the Brew Off. And Garrison, they had their big gala event, and I forget the winner this year, and I forget even the style that they're doing. So stay tuned; it will come out next year as they scale things up. So Garrison always gets a lot of stuff rolling out here for sure. So all right, let's do a quick. We'll do a topic, and then we'll do comments and all that. So just a reminder, folks. You can comment via Twitter, YouTube, Google Plus, Google Streams. It's going to get renamed.
What?
It's going to get branched out. We can talk about that later.
Internet outrage.
Yeah, 5 people outraged.
All 5 Google Plus users?
Yeah,
How many of us? All 6 Google Plus users?
Yeah, so we're all here. We're all outraged. U.S. tourists arrested for carving their names into Rome's Colosseum. Rage.
All right.
Okay, can I just say one thing before the tirade begins?
Okay.
The part that irks me the most about this article is the very last line, and I'm going to try and do this my best California girl way.
I know exactly what you're saying.
We apologize for what we did, the pair reporter said. We regret it, but we did not imagine it was something so serious.
Like, we didn't
Fuck
realize...
off! How could you not?
We didn't realize that, Rome was going to, have a problem with us writing our name in this, 1,500-year-old... It's like an old pile of rocks, whatever.
Totally.
You can't even,
it doesn't even have a roof.
You can't even get Wi-Fi there, whatever.
Where's the Starbucks?
Okay, first of all, so I went to Rome a couple of years ago, and the walls of the Colosseum, and it's an open air amphitheater, and it's a really old pile of bricks, and it's also pretty interesting, and it's a National Historic Site, and it is riddled with bullshit, asshole hipster millennial graffiti like this, end to end. Yeah. Every effing surface that doesn't have a camera on it has some douchebag's initials on it, and YOLO.
And not just a Colosseum.
YOLO!
everything in there, like the old ruins and that, all in the same sort of state.
It's not just ruins, it's fucking everything. When Lori and I did the Camino de Santiago in the fall, the last 100 kilometers is just chock-a-block with every douchebag leaving a tag. Like, oh, like, YOLO, like, I was here in Spain, Camino, whatever, hashtag YOLO.
When I was in Egypt, we were doing the visiting of the tombs of the pharaohs, and I remember some of the tourists go up there. They'd go up to the walls, like past the ropes, and they'd go up to the walls and they start going. Is this what stone feels like? Scratch, 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 scratch. I'm like, what the fuck are you thinking? It's like douchebags like you that sites get shut down, and then generations never get to see that shit again. Thank you.
There are like all of these like varying levels of asshole tourists, and like when you travel around a little bit, you get to like see them pretty quickly. There's like the Russians that go in packs, and like the Chinese tour groups that just kind of like walk in front of you. Like if everybody's queued up, they just like push in line wherever. And the Russians are just loud as hell, and they just like push everybody out of the way. You have your like classic American lout. But the European version of that is like the British lout, but this like level of destruction is something that is a whole other class, and it's just like people like defacing centuries-old buildings so they can put it on Instagram. Yeah. That is basically the worst reason you can do anything.
It is the worst because you're doing it literally for 5 seconds of satisfaction. 5 seconds of satisfaction.
No, the worst part with these two fucking idiots, sorry.
No, don't say sorry. They are fucking idiots.
But the worst part is, after they did that, they dug out their like stupid selfie stick and like took a selfie of themselves. So they had like a nice like clean selfie of it.
And they're not even truly repentant.
No, they're not. Because they're idiots.
They're upset they got caught. They're not upset that they did.
Exactly.
It's kind of like the girl from New Jersey who decided to do art in a whole bunch of national parks in the States this year, and she got caught.
Yeah,
and she kind of documented her journey using acrylic and painting this beautiful face on Crater Lake, and creepy ting.
No, you know what? You're an asshole.
Yeah.
You're all assholes.
There's two things that make me angry about this. Number one is this particular story about people defacing art or monuments or of different types. Then there was, within the same article, the first one that I read was about tourists who went into, and I'll say Angkor Wat, and decided to take pictures of them mooning.
Selfies.
Taking selfies with their pants down in the middle of like holy areas.
Some stupid asshole Canadians did this at Machu Picchu too, and it's the same thing. Like Machu Picchu is a holy site, and you have these like fucking idiots that are on there like, "Yep, you dude."
Yeah. So
Alberta or whatever.
It's just these folks are so self-absorbed that they don't think about, they don't care, they never consider the implications of what they're doing, that it would defacing property or a monument that has such historical significance, and then to demean and diminish holy pieces and places that just for a lark. Like, how despicable are you as a person?
Well, these people are despicable as people because all they have is money, because they don't have a single ounce of common sense, and their parents have done a disservice to humanity by unleashing these barking idiots on the world, because now they can just go wherever they want and spend money and like wave their dicks around and like moon everything and post it all on the internet and think they can live in this beautiful consequence-free environment. You know what? End up in a Peruvian jail. Let's see how that works out for you.
People are the worst.
Broke down palace.
Hey, all I can say is make sure you check Instagram when the Apple Watch comes out. The rich kids of Instagram.
Yeah.
It's gonna blow up.
Yeah.
There's going to be gold watches up the yin yang, right?
I've got 2 things to say to the Apple Watch.
Yeah.
Hey, whoa, hey, oh, hey, come on.
Okay, I'm going to put my 2 cents about the Apple Watch, being a tech enthusiast. I think it's an interesting piece of tech, but I don't know about you, but a watch, A, is supposed to be timeless. And anything that's technology related is not necessarily timeless. And B, people are inherently clumsy. How many times have you smashed your wrist against walls and such? That watch is going to get destroyed so fast.
No, I'm very coordinated. Except for Friday nights.
Yeah, and all it takes is one Friday night, and then that $10,000 watch is fucked.
Well, no. Sorry, $22,000 for Canadian gold version.
Sorry.
Well, you know what? If you have that kind of money to drop on a watch that will basically be useless in a year and a half, good. You deserve to be separated from your money.
Yeah. Okay.
You're too stupid to have it.
All right, so all I'm going to say about the Apple Watch, because I watched the keynote event and I had watched the video when they first launched it and stuff, all I'm going to say is that behind here, this monitor, I have 2 GPS running watches. Both were purchased at around the $400 range. And the Apple Watch Sport, which is, they spent a lot of time focusing on the fitness, health aspect of this watch, being your fitness tracker, heart rate monitor, and all this stuff. Nike Coach. Remember, Nike killed the Fuel Band. This thing, they killed the Fuel Band.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
I know what that is.
And all the Nike stuff and Nike Coach, for those who remember, went into this Apple Watch because a lot of stuff looked familiar when they were going through it. So...
Well, also the fact that Nike or Apple's on Nike's board or one or the other. So
yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of that.
So I'm due to buy a new Garmin watch. So for the running, hiking enthusiasts, you buy a Garmin every couple of years or whatever. And
I'm still using my Garmin from 2008.
Yeah.
It's fine. It still works great.
Not me. Mine's kind of cracked. Where's the glass? Where is it?
It's the battery life that starts to go on you.
Yeah, when you use it heavily. So for relatively the same price, let's say $50 or $75 more, whatever, I will most likely, and they're coming out the same week. Actually, Garmin revised their launch date a week back to be out before the Apple Watch. Before they're going to be
they're going to need that.
April 31st was the last shipping date. The day after Apple Watch came out, April 15th. And you look at their stuff, for example, you can customize the time faces. So you look at Apple, you look at all the sleek, Mickey Mouse time face, and all the cute stuff, whatever. And then you go to Garmin's site, and you see some guy in the basement doing a Star Trek kind of time face theme, and I'm not going to pay $400 for this watch to get a Star Trek off-center time face. Forget it. This is not what I want. So I will probably get an Apple Watch Sport version, the cheapest thing I can get my hands on.
Are you gonna? Do you drive a Subaru as well?
Hey, I do. What's wrong with that?
Yeah, come on, all-wheel drive.
Oh, I touched a nerve.
Never comment on a man's car.
Let's get back to these twats that.
Let's talk about the idiots that are being unleashed on the world.
It's just I think it's a whole bunch of privilege and never considering the consequences of what they do. And they're like, we didn't realize it was going to be such an issue. You're like, what are you, fucking new?
You're
like,
fucking idiot.
come on.
Exactly.
The thing is, there are probably, there are probably worse places to end up than, an Italian courthouse. I just have this, vision of this lecherous Italian judge just letting them off. Because they're cute and they're going to wear spaghetti-strapped tank tops to their court date. They are. They're idiots.
Yeah, but what was the name of the American that got off on murdering a roommate or whatever?
Oh.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
Italian court. Yeah. So much for that. All right, let's move on. Comments let's do a quick check on comments. Reminder, everybody, you can comment on Twitter, YouTube, Google+, or woodenchores.com. The podcast version, if you want to listen to us via your favorite podcast streamer, and we're on Stitcher. Thank you to all the new subscribers on Stitcher listening to us here. Krista, anything on the Twitter?
No, it's actually a little quiet on the Twitter tonight, I guess.
Oh, come on, Twitter.
Wow,
Come on.
people have gone away for March break. It's March break if you have children. Almost everyone I know has children.
Usually February is the dead month, and it comes back in March. So, but a lot of stuff going on. Dan, what's on the YouTube?
A couple extra ones. We got the Smoking Ape.
Yes.
Saying beer in the wrong glass. I drink mine from the can.
That's right.
And I'm hoping
You sound like a badass.
but I'm also hoping you mean like from the actual like beer can, not actually like from the can. As
What, like an
the
empty?
low.
What do you mean, like an empty? Oh, no. Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
You meant
So-
like poured it into
Yes,
like an
yes. Mind you, if you are drinking it from the loo, you really are a man's man. It's like, fuck this. I
No,
drink
man.
where I want to drink.
And you
Like wherever I
probably need to get some type of shot.
And we have another one from GC.
Wash your hands after.
On to my homebrew West Coast IPA that was kegged last summer. So
Nice.
good job,
Nice.
GC Storm 1.
Good stuff
Way to
for
go.
having. Good stuff for having the patience to let a keg just sit there.
Mm-hmm.
since last summer.
I don't have the patience or the attention span to be a home brewer.
I can tell you exactly how long that would stay in my basement, which is 20 days.
I am an impatient, easily distracted human being. I am just ill-suited for this sort of undertaking.
It's crazy. Big thanks. Shout out to Smoking Nate. I think he's in New York State or New Jersey State. I can't remember, but
Yeah.
he's
Smoking
down-
Ape, put that on YouTube. Where are you?
He's on that. He's been pumping out some cool videos there. He does EDC knife. He's been practicing his leather work for knife cases and stuff. So
Actually, I'm going to do a call out on YouTube. Everyone that's listening on YouTube, just put a quick shout out saying where you're listening from so we can get a better idea where you're coming in.
yeah.
That'd be awesome.
And
And then we'll send you a bill for what you're watching in American
But
money. Canadian dollar is very terrible right now.
I'm going to say Smoking Ape has the best YouTube intro on his videos. Last few ones. Internet expert, quote unquote, is the best.
Ooh.
Love it. All right.
So that's it for YouTubes.
All right, perfect. Well, there's nothing on Avoiding Chores because Mike's here with us here, so sporting a nice hat.
Yeah,
Mike,
where's Lee anyway? I'm surprised he's not putting
Lee's
a
probably
nice...
working. He sometimes he's stuck with the night shift there, so
I should be reading these comments.
yeah. Let's move on to the next one here, which is another tourist-related story here. The selfie stick, the ban, goes into effect at French and UK attractions.
Yeah, but the Belfie isn't...
And in Brazil, because...
The Belfie is still good.
Okay, so...
Your butt shots are still safe, Internet.
Let's introduce this properly. If you don't know what a selfie stick is, enjoy that. Because if you've been subjected to them, it's basically the worst thing that modern technology and asshole humanity have come together to produce. So when you go to a place,
Like Rockefeller Center.
or basically anything in New York, this is the first time I've noticed them in a concentrated form. Was a recent trip to New York that the girls took, and the hordes of people wielding these bloody sticks with their stupid iPhones on the end. You have to run the gauntlet to get around them, and they're swinging them around, and it is just the worst. It is the worst of selfies are bad enough, and I am guilty of taking them. I have, whatever. But and then you take a stick and you put it another 4 feet in front of you, and people are trying to get through, carry on with their lives, and you're trying to take 10 selfies of you and whoever is with you. It's just ugh. And so civilized places like the Louvre and all of these fantastic museums and the parts of Brazil have started banning these because not only is it a sensible thing to do for the sake of saving humanity, but they can also be weaponized, as in the case in Brazil. People are allowed to take them into soccer stadiums because they can actually be used to, well, kill someone.
Bump somebody over the head.
Yeah, and frankly, I would. After seeing what we saw with them in New York, I would weaponize it. I would.
2 words: targeted EMP. That will shut down every camera, every phone that's attached to it.
I don't know what that means. With an EMP.
Electromagnetic pulse.
Yes,
right?
that is correct. Yeah, that will shut down any piece of electronics in its bubble.
You have to watch The Matrix, and it's kind of like that.
Yeah, except it's actually one of the few things that's actually real.
Yeah.
There were so many of those movies.
I will say, to echo Krista's comments, is I never really knew much about selfie sticks until we went to New York City, and I'm not exaggerating. On top of the Rockefeller Center, there had to have been at least a dozen individual people taking pictures of themselves or them and their partners or whatever.
They were like an epee, like a sword that you would use in fencing.
Here I am over Central Park. Here I am looking at the Empire State Building. Here I am.
But you do realize what the next one is, though. Like, they're going to ban the selfie, but you can already see what's happening. The push of drone helicopters, and you can see what's going to come from that. Is that you're going to have automatic drones that will fly around and film you for you. So you ban this, you know what's going to happen 2 years from now.
Well, you know what?
All these drones flying around.
I'm going to move to a state that allows concealed carry, and I'm going to get a license, and then I'm going to fill out all the paperwork, and then I'm going to get a gun. And
Are
then
you from Montana or North Dakota? I can't tell where you're coming in from.
The one comment I kept coming back to with the selfie sticks was, this is just another, degradation of society, because at least before, when we were somewhere with your friends and you wanted a picture of yourselves, you would at least engage in a conversation with somebody and say, would you mind terribly taking a photo of me and my friends? But now you don't have to talk to anybody. Like, you just got to squat around this stick and kind of go cheese and take a picture of yourself. So again, communication in society is just crumbling and crumbling and crumbling, and all that's going to be left is your own fucking self-portrait in front of, the Mona Lisa. It's the only fucking thing that's going to be left.
Carrie was just on vacation. Carrie, did you see these in Aruba anywhere?
We didn't see a whole lot.
Look at me with the fish! Look at me in the sun!
Yeah, no.
Look at me with the daiquiri.
St. Martin was one of the busiest ports that we were at. It had over almost 20,000 people there, but there were a lot of tourists, and it wasn't during March break, so you didn't have all the
idiots,
that younger crowd in there. So it was.
No, you can call them idiots. It's fine.
The question I have about the whole selfie phenomenon, and again, I've taken selfies and things of that nature, but who are you taking the picture for? Because I will remember being at that location. So am I taking the selfie in case I get forgetful, or am I getting it to prove to people that I'm actually doing shit? And I just don't get the whole selfie.
It's the modern
I am in front of a candy machine.
Well, let's ask Mike. Mike, you're on the oil rig in the middle of the ocean. Have you ever done this with the iPhone? Hey, I'm on the rig.
We're not allowed to have cameras on the rig.
There you go.
Oh, that's so civilized.
Yeah. Well, also my work, cameras are a little bit banned as well. So.
Yeah. I agree that they should be banned in public places and that. But when I'm doing my videos, my hiking videos, I'll put a stick pic on my hiking pole, and it's great for doing those type videos if you want to talk to the camera type thing. But as for going
if you were in
around town, I would never use it. No.
Like a crowded church, or a restaurant, you wouldn't pull out a selfie stick and take a picture of you and your wife at dinner.
Yeah, no. Look at me and my Caesar salad.
Look at me, I'm getting a selfie.
I
So
moved on to
All I
another
use them
tier.
for my hiking videos. That's it.
Yeah.
Never in town. Like if there's anybody else around, I wouldn't take it out. Just looks too
So-
Go
weird.
on now, Mike. Next time you're at Chess's Fish and Chips, you take your selfie stick and take a picture with like
Is
2 piece and fries.
does the Dragon Dens listen to us, our podcast? Because I've got a personal product that I want to promote. I want to have like a cod piece with an
No,
attachment on there, and the
No.
camera's there,
no.
so that way you can
No.
like to film
No.
yourself.
I-
It'll be like,
Yeah.
I am not investing in this venture.
like a pelvic panorama.
No, that's
No.
terrible.
Oh.
A
Awful, awful.
pelvorama.
This idea is
No, no,
terrible.
no.
That's
Alright, let's
another
move on.
internet day.
Let's move on to the next topic. Well, let's move on. Let's just leave this topic
What?
here. Yeah, let's move on to the next one because it's just as good.
God.
Can we just
Burner.
decide? But can we just agree that pretty much the decline of humanity is in front of us?
Oh yes, it's
Wait.
coming.
Were those two girls that took that thing at Rome? Were they using a selfie stick?
One of the stories I read said they did.
Probably.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Well then, yeah,
Jesus
selfie
Christ.
stick banned. Done.
All right.
Done.
All right. Wedding in India. Wedding in India.
Hey!
The bride
I knew
asks the
I
groom
needed
a
this story.
skill testing question. The bride asked the groom at one point, "What's 15 plus 6?" And he thought about it. He said 17. And
And she
she's
went,
like,
no,
"Nope."
I'm out.
we're done here. Shut
Wow.
it down.
That is awesome. That's the same sort of skill testing question you get on a contest on a cereal box. He would not be able to get the free movie passes, just as not he was able to
The
get
bride's
married.
family very astutely pointed out that this is something that children in grade 1 could do.
Grade
Yeah,
1.
I don't think that she
I hope that
wanted
woman
to
goes
mix
on to
her
become-
DNA with his DNA.
No.
Probably
His
not.
DNA is loaded up with dumb.
I think there was that skit from Chevy Chase from Saturday Night Live when he was playing Gerald Ford, where he says, "It was my understanding that there'll be no math in this."
Yeah, but if you're marrying some idiot that can't even add 15 and 6, like what kind of provider is that guy going to be?
You know, was she expecting a doctor? Was she
This guy's
expecting
gonna
a doctor?
take, like, all my money for these like 3 magic beans. Like I think
Yeah.
there's 3 of them. I don't know. I can't count.
I think it's a fantastic kind of whittling out tool, right? You
But-
start
It wasn't even
weeding
a
people
hard
out. You
question.
know, how are you with your times tables? If they go a little weak, you'd be like, I'm gonna have to put you in the
Like
maybe
she didn't
column.
even ask. They weren't even 2 double-digit numbers.
Can I also add in the
All
article?
he had to do was carry the 1.
Can I also add in this article, if you actually read it, that it says that they had to require local police to mediate the fracas.
I think that's fantastic.
Or
Yeah.
the abacus?
First of all, because if my family was trying to marry me off to an idiot that couldn't add 15 and 6, the first thing, I would have some issues with them. And then I'm going to have issues with the family that produced this son that thought that somehow that I wouldn't figure out that he is a barking idiot.
Yeah. It's like, whatever, deal
We're going
with
to have
it.
words.
So in the bottom of the article, they mentioned that there was another situation where the groom had an epileptic seizure, and the bride ended up asking, "Who wants to marry me?" And one of the guests married her on the spot.
What? She thought he was not gonna make it? Or
Yeah, it's
what?
like, his poor health. That's not what I want.
Jesus, that's
He's just a really good
I-
break dancer. I mean, come on. Leave him alone.
I feel bad for him because if he has epilepsy, like that's clearly not his fault. But on the other hand, like you got to be pragmatic sometimes.
Yeah, you're right. Darwin's theory. Survival of the fittest.
Right.
All right, let's do a quick check on comments here, and then we'll move on to the last few topics, the fun part here. Again, Twitter, Google, and votingchores.com.
And
How many beers is that now, Jim?
It's funny because it's only the 5.4% one.
I know. Oh my God, Jim, you're missing.
lightweight tonight.
I know.
Mother.
I got
Daughter
this
pregnant?
cold.
What do
Got
your
this cold
sickness
and
is just like.
Yeah, I know. It's totally like not working.
Stay in your computer. Don't leave the computer.
Dan on YouTube, what do we got?
We just got 2 more. So I got Smoking Ape coming back with his location, and he says Maryland.
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 Thank you, Smoking Ape.
And GC
Does he
Storm
not
1
ring our bell?
comes back, says, Survivor Man used a selfie stick before there were selfies.
Ah,
Survivor Man,
Survivor.
you are a real hero.
no,
Real
he's the worst. He's the worst.
No. He's not the worst. Bears Grylls is the worst.
Are those different guys? I don't know.
They are
Yes,
different
they are.
guys.
It's so different.
Very different.
Oh, my God.
God.
Anyway, all right. Dan, crazy products from the internet.
Blah, blah, blah. So I went from a different angle in this one. I was trying to look at some products, and then I came across something else afterwards. But let me at least start off with a precursor of a couple of them. So the first one I came across was, I'm not sure if this is a real thing, but I am hoping it is not. Because who would ever want to use that
that's
product?
definitely a real thing, and
For
I guarantee Puff Daddy has one of those in his
Yeah,
house.
for those who can't see it, basically it is a see-through toilet. So that way
It is a
you
clear,
can see
crystal clear
exactly what you had for dinner that night as it makes its way to the sea.
Nope.
I
Yeah.
guarantee Sean Puffy Combs has one of these in his home.
Oh, you're using his full name. He must be in trouble.
That's
Right.
way too much information, guys.
Definitely got one of those.
And then I came across this one here, and I just wanted to show it here. It's not really a product. It's just an old-timey ad, and you got to read the captions on it if you can.
Outside of you, Mickey, that milk is the best thing in the world. Oh, Jesus.
God.
Well, that is good.
No, please continue. Please
Inside of-
continue.
Inside of you, Minnie, my milk is the best thing in the world. That is unspeakably.
That proves that Disney, Mr. Walt Disney, the gatekeeper of your childhood memories, is a filthy, filthy man.
Oh, I think everybody knows he was a filthy perv.
Well,
Like,
and
that
a
goes
Nazi,
without saying.
but also a filthy, filthy man.
Oh, that is distressing.
And
That's
so from
hilarious.
there, I actually came across an album cover, and then I just went into this whole stream of actually albums. So I've come across a collection of really good album covers that people can discover out there. So this one here is a band, and
I love it. Their hair is very close to God.
oh yeah,
That one on the left. Her hair.
basically
Whoa.
there's a group of women that use the term "Jesus use me" as their cover
They
album.
just look really awkward.
Jesus was hot. Like, yeah, I get it.
Yeah.
Get it?
So going more onto the realm of Jesus. So I guess there's a male group that wants to counter that with that.
Whatever. You do you, crazy
Yeah.
guy voicers.
No. Let me touch him.
Let me. Let me.
Is that the Ministers Quartet?
Ah.
Yeah.
Possibly.
So wrong.
Yeah. So I mean, okay. So let's get a little bit more aggressive then. So we got Butch Yelton and Upbound. Swing that gospel axe.
You know what? I need the gospel axe to break up the Ethanites in my side.
A couple more for you guys.
And I do invoke the Lord when I'm breaking up ice.
And let's see what else I got here. Oh yeah, this one. This one's an awesome one. I really admire this guy's moxie. He's using God's power
It looks like Ricky Gervais.
as a karatist preacher. He's breaking the demons with his chi. Again, you can find these albums at your local hipster record store.
Totally looks like Ricky Gervais.
It does.
So two more for you guys.
You should send it to him. He might not have seen that. You should tweet that to Ricky Gervais.
It's the Frivolous Five, sour cream and other delights.
That is disturbing. Move it on. Move on.
Oh my God, that is just. Oh Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
I can't unsee that. Keep going.
And this one here has me totally confused. It's Alex Tompkin, Living with Lesbians, featuring the Lesbian Power Authority.
Yeah, that's how lesbians organize themselves. I guess.
Yeah,
I
so
don't know.
and I'm looking at a picture there, and are those dudes? I don't know. I don't judge.
It's very difficult.
Well, I don't know. The title seems to suggest they're lesbians because it mentions it twice, but
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I'm looking at the pictures there, and I can't really tell. So anyway, normally it's products.
Black and
but,
white.
I came across records, so it's albums that are just terrible.
what was the Touching Jesus one again? Touch Jesus?
Touch Jesus?
Youth him. Use Jesus?
Is that from the minister?
No, the women with the tall hair.
Oh, them.
God use us or you?
Oh, Jesus,
Jesus.
use me.
I get it.
Jesus use me.
Jesus is a good-looking dude.
It's like, oh my God, save me from this horrid life I have. Look at that.
Has anybody ever read the book Lamb by Christopher Moore?
Yeah.
If you haven't, I recommend it highly.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's a good one.
Lamb by Christopher Moore.
Lamb.
Wow.
And just in case you're interested, this album is in stereo.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Yeah, so
yeah.
you can feel the Jesus using you on both sides.
Yeah.
All right.
Is it in hi-fi as well?
I'm in.
Hi-fi, yeah. They have to be high.
Whoa! Not hi-fi. You don't get high on this stuff. This is
No,
serious.
yeah, it's very serious.
Dan, how do you get to your internet?
How do I get? Oh my God! Well, normally you pay $80 to Eastlink, but then if you slip them a tenner, then you get the extra internet.
The dark web.
Showing
The
us some
dark
dark
web.
web stuff.
We don't get the same one.
I don't want to go on tour.
No.
So actually, if you do want to
Just
research
links.
some other really horrible album covers, there is an SL website
So
here.
you know what? You save
called
those. Show us a few every week.
Worst Cal. So you got like Ken by request only.
I remember the Ken one.
Oh,
Hey, was that Europe?
Yeah,
Europe.
the final countdown.
Final countdown.
Oh, I had that.
Bring that up. Bring that up.
You got this one, Eulenspiegel.
Spiegel. What is that chicken doing to that other chicken?
I don't know. And then you got Lars Keitzer. Judah up till Stoof Party too.
Up to Stoof Party to you.
Oh, I fell into the Stoof Party. I've got my Zippo mask.
Hey, speaking, I'm the Stoof
And
Party.
then the Orion Reborn.
Boned. Yeah.
He's a chief and a half. Look at that. Awesome. Oh, speaking of boned, there you go. Boned!
Boned.
Up at the crack.
Oh, come on. That is even subtle.
That's very subtle. That's
Nothing
so
subtle.
yes. If you want a good laugh, go to coverbrowser.com/covers/worst-album-covers.
I think I would lose my weekend on that website.
Yeah.
It is. Oh, there you go. The handsome beasts. Bestiality. Please do not feed animals.
Nope. Move on. All right, shut it down. Next topic.
Yeah, all right, let's move on. It's the dark web from the House of Cards.
Dark web.
All right, so let's move on to the next topic, which is videos that made us cry this week. This is a new bit. There's always something.
A lot of time crying at videos on the internet.
There is a lot of stuff that comes up on YouTube and all that stuff, your Facebook, and you know what? There's a couple contenders this week, so I'm just gonna play one of them here. We won't be able to see.
Don't play it.
No,
Play it.
I'm not gonna play it. Okay. All right.
You're bot. Do whatever you want.
Oh, it's like people. Actually, there's copyright issues. But anyway, we're not going to play it. But we do mention it here. There's the Chicago Blackhawks. What's your goal, Cammy? And that was that made the rounds last week. Basically, a kid with I think it was Brett disease. I think it was called, where she couldn't walk or speak. And she's 5 years old, or maybe a few years older. So Chicago Blackhawks had their advertising campaign, What's Your Goal? And her goal was to skate on the ice with her favorite player, Duncan Keith. And he comes out, and he takes her out, straps her on, and they skate the ice and scores a goal and all that stuff. So anyway, it's one of these things that, onions are coming out. That's one of them. That's one of them that made the list. The other one that came out yesterday Robert Downey Jr. brings a bionic arm to a 7-year-old.
Which, but may I add, is like the most kick-ass or prosthetic arm that you could possibly humanly have. So good on you, kid. That is awesome.
And
That kid was adorable. But I mean, the best thing that came out of that story. So I watched both of those videos, and I had to Google Duncan Keith of the Chicago Blackhawks before I commented any further online. And he is age appropriate. So I will say I did not cry at the Chicago Blackhawks video because I got distracted by Duncan Keith, who is a very good-looking and obviously kind-hearted NHL player. Who is
what came first in your
Winnipeg.
assessment? The good-looking or the kind-hearted?
know that he has 10 fake teeth in his mouth.
You can't see. You can't see a kind heart.
He
So you know what? I think the important thing to note is that I Googled him before I Googled over him.
Googled him.
Good old Canadian boy.
Is that what the kids are calling it these days?
He's from the Peg, and
from the Peg.
he is a good Canadian boy. And that video was really sweet, but the one with the bionic arm really did make me shoot water out of my eyeballs, because the Robert Downey Jr. bit is really just a gimmick. But what's happening is that there is a guy who is using a 3D printer to print bionic limbs for people that don't have them, and then he assembles them with robotics somehow using his brain power and magic, I assume, and that is amazing.
There's a few videos in that channel that shows there's 3 sensors that they'll control, but the sad part about when you're watching these videos, where for this part, you have people that just want to buzzkill the whole thing. I think Slate or Daily Beast, they were railing against these cheap alternatives. It's not a good thing. Stick to the $50,000 versions. And then people are like, "Hey, it's just an ad for Microsoft because you use OneNote and." This sucks.
Okay, first of all, I will not stand for any defiling of OneNote because OneNote is awesome, and I am a OneNote convert, so preach. But yeah, there's always gonna. This is why you cannot read the comments on anything you ever see on YouTube.
Ever.
Just ever, except avoidingchores.com and the Internet. Because our commenters are the best and not the assholes that lurk among the dregs of society on everybody else's YouTube channels. But I mean, it really, these are nice things, and you know what? I honestly don't care if Microsoft pays for this guy. Albert. I don't remember his last name. The one who's making these limbs.
Yeah, Alberto. Yeah.
I don't care if Microsoft is paying to promote it because you know what? That guy deserves some credit. He's doing very cool, amazing things.
Well, and for those who haven't seen the video, he made this bionic arm look like Iron Man's gauntlet.
Yeah.
So it's red. It looks like Iron Man's glove.
Light on it and
yeah, and
it's cool. And the kid doesn't have an arm, but now he does.
Yeah.
And he knows how to use it somehow.
And for something that costs $300-400 to make, the fact that he's going to outgrow it in a couple of months.
Yeah.
So can you just imagine the amount of iterations? The fact that he's able to use his a new limb basically for the first time in his life. You can't fault that until the point where he gets old enough so that yes, you can get the $50,000 one, which you better not break because this is all you're going to get. I would rather.
I don't think people understand how expensive prosthetic limbs are. Both my brother had 2 prosthetic lower legs, and they aren't cheap. They aren't cheap. And he was a grown man when he got both of his prosthetic limbs. But as a child, it's exactly as you say. These kids are still growing, and there are real practical things it has to attach to a stump of some type, and as a person changes shape, obviously the shape of their stump for to be somewhat indelicate, it changes as well. So this young fella is he could go through 15 or 20 adjustments or changes of the prosthetic limb before he actually his size stays constant. And can you imagine?
Hope the kid continues to grow and
absolutely. So if it provides him the ability to be more, to have ability to grab things and do things he wasn't before, if it means that Microsoft chips in and promotes it, and this gentleman can continue his research and the good work that he's doing, fuck yeah. And these kids and these people who probably wouldn't be able to afford a prosthetic limb will be able to have them. Holy crap, how can you criticize that? I don't understand.
What the hell is wrong with you that you criticize this? It's the same. Yeah. But I'm sure there are asshole comments on that hockey video as well.
Out the window and just appreciate it for what it is.
Yeah.
All right, Dane, Carrie, Mike, what do you guys think?
People take for granted what they have if you don't have it. Man, that's wicked that somebody can 3D print something for a kid and
absolutely
give it to them like that.
It's cool. A miracle of the modern age.
Yeah. And the nice thing, now that 3D printers are more accessible to the common individual.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that if he does have to make adjustments, he could probably get the design sent to him from the original designer. Mm-hmm. And if he does have the printer himself, they could produce it right there in his own home. So, I mean, we are in an age of wonder.
Oh,
yeah. I am wonder.
This 3D printing thing, and it's only really been out for, what, a year?
Well, no, it's been out for about 10 years. But
when have we really started talking about it? Within a year and a half?
Probably printers the last year or two.
About 3 years that we've been talking about it,
but it moves really fast.
Yes.
Yeah.
The biggest issue with the 3D printers, it comes down to just the supply of the material that's to be 3D printed as well. Because you gotta deal with that. But once they've got that and they got a more accessible way to kind of give that to the individual user, it's going to be huge. I mean, they're 3D printing food. There are 3D printers for food now out there. So it's just an
3D
amazing...
printers for human tissue.
Yeah.
For skin
we go.
No, for skin grafts and
It's needed.
It's an amazing thing. What's worse, having a 3D printer grafting or adding an ear to a rat? I mean.
Oh, I don't know. That's a tough one.
Yeah.
Carrie, have you been grafting ears to rats or a 3D printer?
No, but the first time I saw a 3D printer was about 2004 when I visited Watervliet Arsenal in upstate New York. And they had one there, and they said that they were subcontracting out jobs for medical research and stuff. So this is probably one of the prototypes of that. And they were doing an actual, I think they were doing a cranial,
like a skull plate or something. Or?
Doing a cranial copy from somebody based on scans that they did. So it's been out a while, but the commercialism and the other good things about it are only coming out because they're being more cheaper, or not cheaper, but more accessible.
Yeah.
So there are good reasons that they are good for.
This is great. You can put a 3D player, you can put a 3D printer on the International Space Station, and it can print any part you need to fix the space station. Do you know how many problems something like that solves?
Well, isn't there a 3D printer in the new Halifax library?
There is. There's also one at the North End Branch Library.
If you're good with 3D modeling, a skill that we're probably going to need now. Yeah. A few years ago, we had to learn how to program a computer language like Java. Now,
that's
Going back to Java.
just cause. But now we gotta learn how to model 3D objects because we need to print stuff so that we can get on with our lives.
Those things are awesome.
All right, let's move on to the next topic, which is our Cards Against Humanity bit. And I think it was Krista that shared the link. Somebody actually put an online version of the game. So Cards
It was
Keith.
It was Keith that shared it, so Keith gets proper credit. But it's also on Mashable.com. I can't remember which link we had. But,
And we had cardsagainst.originality.com. So if you go to the show notes, you'll be able to find it. Or if you have the cards, you spent the money, you can do that. I got both versions up, but that's okay. I'll just pick 10 random white cards. And does everybody have a deck or printouts?
Yep.
I'm still on the computer with mine.
All right, just do the Cards Against Originality link there, Mike, and on the top right, you'll see New Game, and that will shuffle some new cards for you.
Okay.
And people can follow along. People who are watching, you can follow along. Send your replies to Friday Night Hangout hashtag, and we'll get things all settled in here. So we're going to do one round of this, so we'll have 6 instances of this, so it should be pretty cool. Oh, lordy. All right, let's start off with Dan. Is it Fogburger?
No. I'm almost out of Fogburner, so woo. But yeah, okay, I'll start up. So this one's gonna be a 2-carder for those who are playing at home.
All right.
Oh, for Christ's sake, make it difficult already.
Oh, it's a very easy one. Step 1, blank. Step 2, blank. Step 3, profit. So step 1, blank. Step 2, blank. Step 3, profit.
All right, I'm ready.
All right, Jim.
All right, step 1, the Hamburglar. Step 2, crystal meth. Step 3, profit.
Profit.
all right, I'm ready.
All right, Krista, what do you got?
Give her.
Step 1, the economy. Step 2, farting and walking away. Step 3,
Profit, and you do the hands.
Jazz hands.
these are spirit fingers. They're not jazz hands.
Oh, spirit fingers.
Oh, sorry.
My bad.
I can't
Sorry.
tell.
Dreamweaver. There we
All
go.
right, who's next? Carrie, what you got?
I got step 1. Being a motherfucking sorcerer. All right, you ready for the next one?
Oh, yeah.
Sunshine and rainbows.
Yeah,
Uh,
profit.
I could have picked a better one.
no, that was good. That was good. Lori, what you got?
Step 1, lumberjack fantasies.
Uh-oh.
Hey now.
Step 2, half-assed foreplay. Profit.
You should be using your
A lot of people pay money for that shit.
you should be using your whole ass when you're doing your fantasies. Don't half-ass it.
There is presently an American ad that is about half-fast internet, and it is pretty hysterical.
All right, Mike, what you got?
I got step 1, dry heaving. Step 2, $5 footlongs. And step 3, free samples.
Nice. All right.
Well played, well played. Carrie, do you have a black card you want to give out?
Yeah. No,
All
this
right.
one.
Okay.
This one.
The Royal Ontario the Royal Ontario Museum has just opened an interactive exhibit on blank. All right, I got one. All right, hold up your card again, Carrie, so I can read it. The Royal Ontario Museum has just opened an interactive exhibit on testicular torsion.
Ooh.
That sounds terrible.
A little painful. A little painful. Who's next?
I'll go.
All right, what do you got, Krista?
An icy hand job from an Edmonton hooker.
Jesus, that's pretty specific.
Woof! Pretty specific.
It's art!
Mike, what do you got?
My humps.
My hopes. The Royal Ontario Museum has just opened an interactive exhibit on... Dan, what do you got?
Coat hanger abortions.
Oh.
Sorry, it's not me. It's the card.
It's the cards.
The card.
But it's also you.
And
It's
it's
a
also,
little.
but mostly the cards and the blessed fog burner.
Listen, I was at Harvest Wines tonight, and somebody was calling when I was there asking how many fog burners did they have left in the store, and I was going to go, Dan!
Where's the fog burners, Dan? I know you got them.
Lori, what do you have to this question? The Royal Ontario Museum has just opened an interactive exhibit on public ridicule.
Yes.
That's pretty interactive.
Very good.
Say,
And
I saw a Yoko Ono exhibit at the Royal Ontario Museum. No, it was at the
Did that
AGM.
involve ridicule?
all right, did we do everybody? Did we do everybody in this
Yep.
round?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, perfect. All right, Krista, what do we got for a black card?
All right. Dear Sir or Madam, we regret to inform you that the office of blank has denied your request for blank. It's a tucata. Dear Sir or Madam, we regret to inform you the office of blank has denied your request for blank.
All right, here we go. I got this.
All right.
All right.
Hang on.
All right, we regret to inform you that the Department of Scientology, blah, blah, blah,
oh,
Denied your request for getting really high.
getting really high.
Those folks are high on life. The Scientologists.
Yeah.
Praise
I
you.
saw on the grocery checkout line, John Travolta is getting death threats from Scientologists there. They're out to kill him.
No, he's fine. They've got enough stuff on him. They're keeping him in line.
Oh, okay. Krista, reread the card. And
Dear
we'll go to-
Sir or Madam, we regret to inform you the Department of blank has denied your request for blank.
Mike, what you got?
The Department of Men has denied your request for estrogen.
You just had a cat come appear in the corner of your screen.
I don't have a cat.
No, oh, sorry, not you, Jim. It just kind of popped up in the.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
hang on.
But he's literally sitting in the corner of your bottom third.
I hate that cat. I hate this.
That cat was really
Look
cute.
at him. Look at this cat.
Yeah, he's just sitting there watching.
he's a grumpy cat's sister.
Oh my God, Lori, what we got?
Dear Sir and Madam, we regret to inform you the Department of Erectile Dysfunction has denied your request for
Pictures boobs.
pictures of boobs.
Pictures of boobs. Carrie,
I got it.
what
All
you
right.
got? Department
Dear Sir
of.
or Madam, the
The
Department,
Department of your weird brother
Yeah, that's right.
has denied your request for throwing a virgin in the volcano.
Dan.
All right, go ahead and start reading it.
Dear Sir or Madam, the Department of blank,
My vagina,
the Department of My Vagina has denied your request for
the blood of Christ.
I'm sure those ladies in that album wouldn't say that.
Yep.
No.
Oh, fog burner.
All right, let's go to Lori. Lori, do you have a black card you want to share with us tonight?
I do.
All right.
Mine is. Whoops.
What gets
What
better?
gets better with age?
Oh, this is an easy one.
This is an easy one.
Easy one
Yeah,
for me.
you're all really drunk now, so I'm trying to make it easy for you.
All right, what gets better with age? Some goddamn peace and quiet.
You're right. You're fucking right. It does.
All right, Mike, what you got?
I'm just scrolling through again. I lost my spot. Come back.
All right, Krista, what you got? Oh, you're drinking. Oh.
That's all right. What gets better? Cue me up.
What gets
better with age?
Bitches.
Carrie,
Yeah.
what gets better with age? Chunks of Dig Hitchhiker.
I got one, Jeff.
Well,
Okay. What gets better with age, Mike?
The Tempur-Pedic Swedish sleep system.
I'd invest in that shit.
I would
And finally, Dan.
what gets better with age? Skeletor.
You're right.
He-Man, you buffoon!
Awesome. All right, so let's move on. All right, Mike, choose a black card if you're doing the online version there.
I hear something upstairs. I'll be right back. Just give me a second.
I'm just
Yep.
scrolling down to find a black card there now. Are they at
Okay.
the bottom of the online one?
Yeah, any black one?
I haven't found a black card yet. One sec.
I'll take a look at that.
You got
Oh,
one?
here we go.
All right.
In the new Disney Channel original movie, Hannah Montana struggles with blank for the first time. It's a mouthful.
Hannah Montana struggles with.
In the new Disney Channel original movie, Hannah Montana struggles with blank for the first time.
Hmm.
All right. I
She
got this.
struggles with naked news.
Or
Or.
a cooler full of organs.
Oh,
Lori.
An ice pick lobotomy. Lobotomy. La 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 la.
Carrie.
La la la.
Laying an egg.
Laying an egg.
That's it.
and in the new Disney Channel original movie, Hannah Montana struggles with blank for the first time.
Dan.
Menstrual rage.
Good stuff. All right, and the last one. So the last round, the Cards Against Humanity. Of course, we haven't been checking Twitter. People have been sending us replies here on the hashtag, which probably not going to happen because they're so focused on what we're going to say here.
Off about tourists right now.
Why can't I sleep at night? Why can't I sleep at night? Dan, why can't I sleep at night?
Well, I am a realist, so I'm going to say the World of Warcraft.
Which is like, I don't know. Who plays World of Warcraft like 10 years ago?
I think Korea.
Korea?
Like the entire nation of Korea. Sorry.
It's been a
My
while,
bad.
eh?
My bad. South Korea. There we go.
That's racist.
That's racist.
Carrie, why can't I sleep at night? You must construct additional pylons. Krista, why can't I sleep at night?
Because you are on a sea of troubles
So true, so true. Truer than you think.
Is there a
That
fog
is-
burner card? Because maybe.
That is.
Oh, man, you know what? I totally
I've
think
got
I need
blanks. I have an expansion pack, so I've got all kinds of blanks in my
Oh,
set.
man. Lori, why can't I sleep at night?
Poor
Poor
life
life
choices.
choices.
For life choices. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is, now called too much fucking beer.
And Mike, why can't I sleep at night?
Well, it's because of Darth Vader.
Yeah.
Yes.
I concur.
All right, and that
Oh.
concludes our Cards Against Humanity bit, folks. This is where
I love that round. I really
this was a good round.
Who's the father?
Yeah.
Listen, guys, if you have the cards, you can play along with us. Just send us a tweet via Twitter on the hashtag, and we'll be able to read them out. And might not be live, but we'll read them out. It's always good stuff.
post them in the comments on YouTube later.
Oh yeah, just post them in the comments. We'll read them afterwards. Okay, our last bit, and then we'll start winding down for another hangout. Going overtime tonight. We had a pretty good hangout here so far.
So,
Great panel.
10 o'clock we roll out the swear words. What do we roll at 11 o'clock?
I don't know.
Put it back in, whatever you think you're going to roll it.
Yep.
Okay, sorry, let me get my beer bong. Just 1 second.
No. Anything you think can be rolled at 11? No. Put it back.
No, okay.
All right, the Wayback Machine, 1979 is the year.
The Rivers of Babylon, that's all I'm going to say.
Rivers of Babylon.
Are you talking about Boney M or 1979? Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Joe Clark becomes a part-time prime minister.
Whoa! Stop here. 1979, the most important thing to happen in 1979 was the Dukes of Hazzard debuted on CBC.
I thought it was Michael Jackson's Off the Wall.
Nope.
Okay, that is also a really amazing album.
The introduction of the Sony Walkman.
No, the Dukes of Hazzard is far more important than that.
3 Mile Island nuclear accident in Pennsylvania happened. Started
Okay,
a whole
that's
wave
also-
of...
Oh, okay, Jim. Get your priorities straight.
That's pretty bad, but let us focus on the Dukes of Hazzard
Yeah.
for just a minute.
For me,
I
it
Good
was.
old
I got season 1 and DVD downstairs.
Never meaning no harm.
Now, have you guys rewatched season 1? Because it's true. I did buy the DVD season 1 down. It is downstairs, and I watched it recently. Last few years, maybe 5 years ago. That was a crazy freaking show.
So are you saying that the Dukes of Hazzard does not hold up?
No, holds up. It holds up very well. It was a crazy show for its time, and
I'm sure it was, yeah.
and Daisy Duke was holding up the Daisy Dukes.
Them
pretty
Duke
good.
boys! Boom!
I remember Friday nights. It was the Incredible Hulk and Dukes of Hazzard. That was my evening.
On a more
Bo and
serious
Luke
note,
Duke, man.
though, politically, two major things. Margaret Thatcher was elected as Prime Minister of the UK in
That is
1979.
actually, despite the fact that I disagree with pretty much every position she has in every single way, that was actually really significant
Yeah, it is.
because of women's rights in the Western world.
And the other one is, and for kids that don't recognize this, the USSR or Russia, Soviet Union invades Afghanistan in 1979.
And
So the
Afghanistan-
world turns.
Yeah. And 37 years later, everything is exactly the same.
Yeah.
And also in 1979, McDonald's introduces the Happy Meal. You're welcome, parents of children.
Yeah, quickly stolen by the Hamburglar.
No, I remember we didn't have a McDonald's on the Canadian side of our border, so luckily we're on the border with Maine, so we went to Van Buren, and they had a McDonald's, and I had a Happy Meal and Star Trek: The Motion Picture was out in 1979.
Yeah,
So
it
my
was.
happy
Did you get a collector glass?
no, my Happy Meal came with a Mr. Spock plastic yellow ring thingy.
Really?
Also,
It was Maine. What do you expect? It was a
Yeah.
lot.
I
some
don't-
things for cost of living for that time of year, or that year, I should say. The Toyota Corolla in 1979 cost a whopping $3,698.
Wild.
That would probably
A-
be like $18,000 to $20,000 now?
A Mercury
A Corolla?
Cougar XR7 is $6,430 in 1979.
Now, is that the Mad Max car? Or...
Mad Max? No, that was a Ford, I think.
That movie came out in '79, Mad Max.
79. Hey, you know what? In terms of movies, there was a lot of crappy movies in 79. Like, I'm looking at the list.
But there's one super classic, Alien.
Thank you.
Yes.
That is what I've been waiting for 5 minutes to say. Alien.
Apocalypse Now.
Apocalypse
Alien.
Now, Alien,
Alien.
and then what else? What
Alien.
else?
One of the Star Trek movies.
Superman, the movie. Hello, the Richard Donner classic.
No, that wasn't that 78?
79.
79.
79?
And the Muppet movie, 1979.
Was that
That was
79?
God!
79.
Oh,
Wow.
my lord.
The other ones were the Amityville Horror.
Yep. Deer Hunter,
Yeah,
Kramer
and
versus Craver,
That's a bummer.
I'll take that back.
Star Trek: The
There-
Motion Picture, which
There was some good stuff.
Moonraker, the most
Alien.
unrealistic, and yes, Alien.
Kramer versus Kramer.
That's a bummer.
and
Music.
Alien.
Music included Gloria Gaynor with "I Will Survive."
That holds up.
A
That's-
movie that I actually watched in a theater.
Theater.
Clint Eastwood's Every Which Way But Loose.
Oh my God, with the monkey.
Oh my god.
With the monkey.
Excuse me, an orangutan.
Orangutan, excuse me.
Slide.
Monkey. It's a
Or
monkey,
left side.
monkey.
Lori, I think Alien came out that year too.
Go on, Mike!
Sid
Wait a
Vicious
minute.
of Sex Pistols died in 1979.
It was like
And-
21.
And
If
Alien
I-
came out.
Wait a minute. The Canadians won the Stanley Cup? That's the thing they did?
Was that 79?
Stanley Cup burn.
Yeah, they used to do that years ago.
Internet.
Canadians burn.
Simmer down there now, Mike.
Oh,
St.
popular.
John's just got their farm team, so simmer down now.
yes.
Only for 2 years.
Yeah, but it'll fill the gap.
Yep.
It will fill the
Popular-
gap for 2 years, and then they're going to move to Laval because they're finishing a new
Yeah.
rink.
Yeah.
Here's some popular choice from 1979. You got the Speak and Spell, and then
That
you've also got the Farrah Fawcett hair curling bust or whatever you want
Totally
to call
holds
that.
up.
Oh yeah.
You can still wear that. You could wear that style today. You'd look super cool.
Some of the big TV shows at the time: 60 Minutes, Three's Company. That's incredible.
Oh my God.
Oh my
I
god.
love that's incredible.
Me too.
Alice, MASH, Dallas,
Yeah.
Flo,
Wait, who are the hosts for That's Incredible? There was John Davidson,
John
Some guy
Davidson,
named-
and who's the other?
A guy
the,
named
the
Skip
woman.
and a lady.
the lady,
The
and
lady.
the guy that does Best of Show there, the judge, Fred.
Oh
So
my
for-
God! What? Really?
Yeah, he was a host. I remember watching him.
Mork
Fred
and
Willard.
Mindy. Oh,
Fred-
Yeah.
Fred Willard. He was on that show.
Here's
John
some-
Davidson, Fred Willard, and Joan.
I'm pulling it up here just.
Joan Hart, maybe?
No,
Kathy Lee Crosby,
Kathy, totally different, but yeah.
John Davidson, Fran Tarkenton, Kathy Lee Crosby.
Popular shows from that time, you got Charlie's Angels, Family Feud, Quincy M.E., The
Yeah, these are all
Muppet
great
Show, Love Boat, Three's Company, Dallas, Different Strokes, which, by the way,
I would watch a weekend full of Three's Company right now.
Oh yeah.
I
Oh,
have
God,
an issue
yeah.
with Different Strokes, that they always never spell different with the E. They always put the apostrophe in it, because I
Yeah.
guess it's economy of scale to save back
No,
on
it was-
E's.
It was a stylized thing to show the cultural difference between the two families that were coming
Different?
together.
Yeah. It was different.
Pick up a
Hey,
dictionary, goddammit.
Hey, on the radio, Devil Went Down to Georgia.
Oh my God, that's
Daniels
a
Band.
That was
It was actually a
79.
really important song in my youth.
It was an important song. It
Oh,
was an important song.
And to make people feel old, people born in 1979 include Kate Hudson, Heath Ledger, bless her soul, and Jennifer Love Hewitt.
Is she still a thing?
Yeah, she's on Criminal Minds now.
She's on.
Oh, is she?
Is she?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I haven't watched that in a while then.
I just discovered that I had my Apple TV set up wrong for the American VPN, and now I set it correctly. And all of a sudden, my Apple TV has.
Legally streaming American content to your Apple TV? I
Nope.
just don't know if you're actually preparing that right now.
It's 11 o'clock. People have tuned out by now.
Yeah, the people are in bed. It's fine.
All I know, I'm paying somebody legitimately. Hey, he says he can make it work, and I'm
You
like,
men are using big internet words. I don't know what a VPN is. Stop making up stuff.
All right, so-
I think he connects on your internet.
And
I don't know.
Alien was released in 1979.
Hey, Lori, when was Alien released?
1979.
Really?
Yeah.
Holy smokes.
I
Did you see
don't
that
know.
movie?
I think we're talking about Alien far too much and Dukes of Hazzard.
No.
totally.
Alien deserves every little bit of discussion that it gets.
I think we need to look at how hot John Schneider looked in 1979.
How
and
about
that
let's
will-
look at
that will
Catherine
pretty
Bach?
much settle it.
John Schneider did not look hot
Over.
in 1980.
Debate
Can I just add
over.
that in?
Debate is closed.
I'm thinking, Krista, that you're an Uncle Jesse type of person.
No, I'm a John Schneider woman.
Or Roscoe.
No, strictly John Schneider, now and forever. You look at him today, he's still beautiful. And even though...
Go get him, Flash!
No, he could
Flash.
he could pull up in front of my house at 55 Yemen Road in Yemen right now, and I would, go wherever he was going.
But what
Like
if
this?
it's in
In
parcel?
his unbuttoned denim shirt.
What if
Yeah.
it's with her with Cooter? What is him and Cooter together?
No, I don't want
Cooter.
Cooter. I don't want
Yeah.
anything to do with Cooter. I am a John Schneider Fanalo.
There's Cooter.
No, don't show pictures of Cooter. Show
Cooter-
pictures of John Schneider.
Cooter and Uncle
What's wrong with you
Jesse.
guys?
Just
You don't
leering at you,
nothing about
going,
women.
hey, what about us?
And let's not even let's not even talk about the remake.
Oh, God,
No.
we will not talk about
The
that.
what?
How about Bo and Vance? How about that? Those guys
I remember those guys. They're also alright.
lasted for what, 2 shows?
They were because of a salary dispute with John Schneider and Tom Wopat. I know way too much about the dude.
You know way too much about
I'm a little freaked out, I'm
They
going to
were
say.
super important to
There you
me.
go, Bo and Vance, right there.
Wait,
Yeah.
Krista, do you host a Tumblr on Dukes of Hazards?
I don't know what a Tumblr is.
What? No, okay, now you're shitting me.
How many cars did they wreck during that show?
That's a very good question, Mike. I would be very curious.
Yeah, an awful lot.
Well,
Yeah.
sorry, what was the question?
How many cars
did they wreck?
Oh, God.
Like
I would-
they jump
I
a
would
bridge
assume,
and
like, all of
land,
them?
and you'd see the car crumple, then they drive off, and it was perfect.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yeah.
Yes, continuity wasn't a big deal back then.
No.
Yeah, it was the 80s. They didn't know what the internet was.
Well, let's just talk about the actual police budget of Hazard County as well. I mean, can that county afford that
impressive.
many cop cars?
I know.
Yeah, that's impressive for, Georgia. So.
Yeah.
I mean, most of that, there's a pretty decent amount of that state that cannot read, but they have endless supplies.
But
For,
what about
police.
the short-lived TV show Enos?
Oh, Boss Hog. No,
I
no,
don't even
no.
remember that one.
It
Boss
lasted
Hog
like
is like-
2 shows. Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Boss
very
Hog
short.
is my hero.
I wish
Seriously?
I wish I could adequately describe the influence that the Dukes of Hazzard had on my young life and the community around me at the time. I just could not even do it justice. I'll have to make a TV show of it.
Same thing, but throw the A team, and that would be for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Reminiscing. It's great. I love the Wayback Machine.
Look at that! Look at that!
Oh, my apologies, millennials. Keep watching us, millennials.
Yeah,
All right,
whatever.
let's. It's time to wind down the hangout for
I know.
another week. People have been sticking around for a while, so let's do a quick round of comments here and anything else, and then we can wrap it up for another week.
I can't believe nobody else is stridently defending the honor of John Schneider, but whatevs. You do you, Internet.
Oh my God, I have a comment. Alien was released in 1979.
What? Sorry,
I know.
say that again?
Alien was released in 1979.
Oh.
Over 250 generally leads.
Enough.
Okay, sorry I'm just gonna throw this in for those who are Alien fans. Anyone that's sort of a interested party in H.R. Giger, not Geiger, it's pronounced Giger. There's a documentary that's called Jodorowsky's Dune,
Yes.
and he's talking about his original plans of actually creating Dune before what's his name, the other effed up director.
Was it David Lynch?
David Lynch, thank you. Before David Lynch did Dune, this other guy was going to do Dune, and he did a documentary about his failed project, and H.R. Giger was attached to that, and you can see a lot of the influence that was to be in that Dune, how it showed up in Alien and other movies. So for those who are Alien fans, definitely watch that documentary.
Yeah, it's definitely worth it. I've seen a few of the artwork, and yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Last few bits. Do we have any comments anywhere else? Because I don't think we do.
Nothing on YouTube.
Nope, all quiet on the Twitter front.
All quiet. All
Sorry,
right.
let me turn on my X386 and I'll see if anyone's on AOL right now. Give me a minute. I gotta actually get the pull cord going on. It's gas powered. Sorry,
That fog burner is doing well tonight.
Sorry, millennials. That's the sound of a modem. It was an old communication
You
device.
put your telephone in it.
Yeah, telephone. It was on analog signals.
I used to have the one where you actually put the telephone receiver on.
Oh my God, you did?
Yeah. 300 baud. Wicked.
Wow.
Yeah, wild.
Wow, yeah. The cat's still there.
Yeah, he is. That cat doesn't care.
I don't care. Oh God, this.
At least not my house. Somebody said it was in my house, I thought.
No, sorry. I saw it hop into the screen while we were talking to you.
I know. And I was thinking, I don't have a cat?
Look how this cat is looking at me.
Yeah, that's right. He's sizing you up.
By the way, it's not a closure of the podcast without me bringing up the fact that Garrison, step up your game. Fog burner meeting, fog burner podcast. What is going on? People want to know. The internet wants to know.
You know what? I haven't had a chance to talk to the guys at Garrison the last couple of weeks there, so we'll
You had
have
a week off. Very disappointed.
Busy training, getting my cardio up. And
I've
stuff.
got 3 Garrisons upstairs waiting. Do I have to stock up more? Is the question. I need to know.
Continue to stock up. It's good. Very entertaining.
Oh my god.
Right.
Things I do for you, Halifax.
All right, let's close it up for another week. I'd like to thank the panel again for another very entertaining hangout. Thank you for everybody who's been watching and commenting us tonight. You can catch a replay once we're done. The podcast will be up over the weekend. Downcast, iTunes, Stitcher. You can download it there. We'll be back on Friday, next Friday again. And with that, Krista, what we got?
Good meeting!
Good meeting!
Alien!